Welcome to English for Pet Owners. Speak with your vet and groomer like a pro. Imagine this: your beloved pet is sick, and you're at the vet, struggling to explain what's wrong. The vet asks questions, but you don't understand. Panic sets in. What if your pet doesn't get the right treatment? What if you misunderstand important instructions? Don't let language be a barrier when it comes to your pet's health and well-being. In this video, you'll learn essential English phrases for talking to your pet's veterinarian and groomer with confidence. By the end, you'll know how to describe symptoms, ask the right questions, and understand expert advice, ensuring your furry friend gets the best care possible. Are you ready to become a fluent pet owner? Let's dive in. Chapter 1: A Trip to the Vet. Describing symptoms with confidence. Sarah has had a rough night. Her dog Max has been acting strangely. He hasn't touched his food, and he keeps vomiting. Worried, she rushes to the veterinary clinic first thing in the morning. As she walks in, she realizes she doesn't know how to explain Max's symptoms in English. The receptionist asks, "What seems to be the problem with your pet?" and Sarah freezes. If you've ever felt this way, don't worry, you're not alone. In this chapter, you will learn essential English phrases to describe your pet's symptoms clearly and confidently. By the end, you'll know exactly how to express what's wrong, ensuring your furry friend gets the best care possible. When you arrive at the vet, the first thing you'll be asked is, "What's wrong with your pet today?" At this point, it's important to describe the symptoms in a clear and structured way. Use time markers to explain when the problem started and describe any unusual behaviors. Here are some useful phrases you can use. "My dog started vomiting last night, and he still feels sick today. She has been shaking her head a lot, as if something is bothering her. He hasn't been eating for 2 days, and I'm getting worried. She keeps licking her paw constantly, and it looks swollen." Try to be as specific as possible. Instead of just saying, "My pet is sick," give details about what you've observed. Different symptoms require different descriptions. Let's go over some common signs of illness and how to express them in English. If your pet has stomach issues. "My dog has had diarrhea since this morning, and I don't know why. He vomited 3 times last night and hasn't eaten anything today. She keeps trying to eat grass, which she never does." If your pet has skin or allergy problems. "My cat keeps scratching her ears, and I think she has an infection. He has red patches on his belly, and he won't stop biting them. She has been losing a lot of fur in the last few days." If your pet seems weak or unusual. He is usually very energetic, but today he won't even get up. She keeps hiding under the couch, which she never does. "My dog isn't responding to his name, and that really worries me." Tip: if you don't know the exact word for a symptom, describe it the best you can. For example, instead of lethargic, you can say, "My dog looks very tired and doesn't want to move much." Veterinarians need to know how long symptoms have been present to make an accurate diagnosis. Use these time-related phrases to be more precise. "The problem started 2 days ago, but today it got much worse. She has been sneezing a lot for the past week. I first noticed it this morning, and it hasn't improved." Tip: if you don't remember the exact time, you can say, "I'm not sure when it started, but it has been going on for a while." Changes in appetite or drinking habits are important signs of illness. Here's how to describe them. "My dog usually eats a lot, but today he hasn't touched his food. She drinks water constantly, way more than usual. He doesn't seem interested in drinking water, and I'm concerned." Tip: if your pet is eating but less than usual, you can say, "She is eating, but only very small amounts at a time. If you're struggling to explain something, don't panic. You can ask for help by saying, "I don't know how to describe it, but he looks very uncomfortable. Can I show you a video of how he has been acting? I think something is wrong, but I'm not sure how to explain it." Taking pictures or videos of your pet's symptoms before visiting the vet can help a lot. Now, you have the tools to confidently describe your pet's symptoms in English. The next time you visit the vet, you'll know exactly what to say to get your furry friend the care they need. Which phrase do you think will help you the most? Have you ever struggled to explain your pet's symptoms? Tell us in the comments. Chapter 2: Understanding the vet's questions and answers. Sarah is finally inside the vet's office, holding Max, her sick dog, in her arms. She has just described his symptoms as best as she could. Now, the vet begins asking questions, but Sarah doesn't fully understand. She nods nervously, unsure if she is answering correctly. Has this ever happened to you? You try to understand, but the vet's words seem too fast, too technical, or just unfamiliar. Don't worry. In this chapter, you will learn common questions vets ask and how to answer them correctly in English. By the end, you will feel confident and prepared for your next vet visit. After hearing your pet's symptoms, the vet will often ask follow-up questions to understand the situation better. Here are some of the most common ones and how to answer them. When did the symptoms start? The symptoms started yesterday evening, and they got worse this morning. I noticed them 2 days ago, but they weren't as bad before. It has been happening for about a week, but only sometimes. Tip: if you don't remember exactly when, you can say, "I'm not sure, but I think it started a few days ago." Has your pet been eating normally? No, he hasn't been eating much, and he refuses his favorite food. She is eating, but much less than usual. Yes, he eats normally, but he looks very weak. Tip: if your pet is eating but not drinking much, you can add, "He eats fine, but he hasn't been drinking a lot of water." Has your pet been vomiting or having diarrhea? Yes, he vomited twice last night and again this morning. She has diarrhea, and it has been happening since yesterday afternoon. No, but he seems to have a lot of gas and discomfort. Tip: if you are unsure how to say diarrhea, you can describe it as, "His stool is very loose, and it happens often." Is your pet more tired than usual? Yes, she sleeps all day and doesn't want to play at all. He is usually very active, but now he just lies down. I think so. He looks slow and doesn't react like before. Tip: if your pet is moving slowly, you can say, "He seems weak and doesn't have much energy to move around." Questions about your pet's behavior changes. A change in behavior is often a sign of illness, so the vet may ask questions about how your pet acts at home. Have you noticed any changes in your pet's behavior? Yes, he used to be friendly, but now he hides under the bed. She usually loves attention, but now she doesn't want to be touched. He is barking a lot at nothing, which is unusual for him. Tip: if your pet is more aggressive than usual, you can say, "She growls when I touch her, which she never does normally." Does your pet seem to be in pain? Yes, he whimpers every time he tries to walk. She doesn't let me touch her leg, it might be hurting her. I'm not sure, but he cries when he jumps on the couch. Tip: if your pet limps or moves differently, you can say, "He is walking strangely, like he doesn't want to put weight on his leg." If the vet prescribes medicine, you will need to understand the instructions clearly. How many times a day should I give this medicine? You need to give this medicine twice a day with food. Give her 1 tablet in the morning and 1 in the evening. Make sure he takes this liquid medicine before meals. Tip: if you don't understand the dosage, ask, "Can you repeat that? I want to make sure I give it correctly. What should I do if my pet's condition doesn't improve? If he doesn't get better in 2 days, bring him back. Call us immediately if she stops eating or if symptoms get worse. Make sure he gets plenty of rest, and watch for any new symptoms. If you are worried, ask, what signs should I look for to know if it's serious?" Understanding the vet's advice. Sometimes, the vet might give you complex medical advice. If you don't understand, don't hesitate to ask for clarification. He has an infection, so we will prescribe antibiotics for 7 days. Does that mean I have to give him medicine every day for a week? This condition might be caused by food allergies. Should I change his food to something different? She needs to rest and avoid jumping for a few days. So I should keep her inside and stop her from running? Tip: if you are unsure, say, "I'm not sure I understand. Can you explain it more simply?" Now, you know the most common questions a vet will ask and how to answer them confidently. Next time you visit the vet, you'll feel prepared and in control of the conversation. Which question do you think is the most difficult to answer? Have you ever misunderstood something a vet told you? Share in the comments. Chapter 3: A Visit to the Groomer, Making Requests Clearly. Sarah is excited to take Max to the groomer. His fur has grown too long, and he looks a bit messy. She wants a simple trim but doesn't know how to explain it in English. When the groomer asks, "How would you like his haircut?" she hesitates, trying to find the right words. Has this ever happened to you? You want to tell the groomer exactly how you want your pet to be groomed, but you're unsure how to explain it. Don't worry. This chapter will teach you how to make clear requests at the groomer's salon, so your pet gets the perfect cut, trim, and care. When you arrive at the grooming salon, the groomer will likely greet you and ask, "What would you like us to do for your pet today?" Here are some ways you can clearly state your grooming request. "I'd like a simple trim, but please don't cut too much. Can you give him a full body cut but keep it fluffy? I want his fur to be even, but not too short." Tip: if you want a specific style, bring a picture to show the groomer. Different pets need different grooming styles. Be clear about how much fur should be trimmed and which areas need special attention. Can you leave his fur a little longer around his face? Please keep his tail fluffy but trim it slightly. I want his legs trimmed evenly, but not shaved too short. Tip: if you want the fur cut very short, you can say, "Please give him a very short cut for the summer heat." Asking for additional grooming services. Grooming isn't just about a haircut. Many groomers offer nail trimming, ear cleaning, and bathing. Can you also clean his ears? He gets a lot of wax. I'd like a bath with a gentle shampoo for sensitive skin. Please trim his nails but don't make them too short. Tip: if your pet's nails are too long, you can say, "His nails are very long. Please trim them as much as possible." Explaining your pet's behavior during grooming. If your pet gets nervous, aggressive, or scared during grooming, it's important to tell the groomer. He gets very anxious, so please be gentle with him. She doesn't like her paws touched, so she might pull away. He stays calm if you give him treats, so that might help. Tip: if your pet bites when nervous, say, "He sometimes bites when scared. Can you use a muzzle if needed?" Asking about the grooming process. If you're unsure how the grooming works, don't hesitate to ask questions. How long will the grooming session take? It should take about an hour, but we will call you when it's done. Do you use hypoallergenic shampoo? My dog has sensitive skin. Yes, we have special shampoo for pets with allergies. Will you be using clippers or just scissors for the cut? We will use clippers for the body and scissors for details. Tip: if you want a specific method, you can say, I prefer you to use only scissors, if possible. Checking the grooming before leaving. Before you leave, always check the grooming to make sure it's what you wanted. Can I take a quick look before we leave? This looks great. But can you trim his ears just a little more? His nails still seem a bit long. Could you cut them a little shorter? Tip: if everything looks perfect, don't forget to say, thank you so much. He looks amazing. Now, you know how to clearly request the perfect grooming service for your pet. Whether it's a haircut, a nail trim, or a bath, you can now communicate with the groomer in clear, confident English. What's the most important grooming request you always make? Have you ever had a bad grooming experience? Share in the comments. Chapter 4: Emergency Situations. Asking for urgent help. Sarah is enjoying a quiet afternoon at home when suddenly, she hears a strange sound coming from the other room. She rushes in and finds Max, her dog, struggling to breathe. His tongue looks swollen, and his breathing is rapid. Panic sets in. She grabs her phone, but she doesn't know how to explain the emergency in English. In a pet emergency, every second matters. If you ever find yourself in this situation, knowing the right English phrases can save your pet's life. In this chapter, we'll cover how to describe emergencies, ask for urgent help, and understand vet instructions. If your pet has a serious problem, call the vet immediately. Here's how to explain the situation over the phone. I have an emergency. My dog is struggling to breathe. What should I do? My cat ate something toxic, and now she is vomiting a lot. My dog was bitten by another dog, and he is bleeding badly. Tip: if you're not sure what's wrong, simply say, something is wrong with my pet, and I need help immediately. When you arrive at the vet, they will ask what happened and what symptoms your pet has. If your pet is having trouble breathing, he is breathing very fast, and his tongue looks swollen. She keeps coughing, and it sounds like she is choking. He is panting heavily, even though it's not hot outside. If your pet has a severe injury, my dog cut his leg, and the wound is bleeding a lot. She was hit by a car, and now she can't stand up. His paw is swollen, and he keeps licking it aggressively. If your pet ate something dangerous. I think my cat ate something poisonous, and now she is vomiting. My dog ate chocolate, and I heard it's toxic for dogs. She swallowed something sharp, and now she is in pain. Tip: if you don't know what your pet ate, you can say, I don't know what he ate, but he is acting very sick. When you get to the vet, make sure they know it's an emergency. This is an emergency. Please see my pet right away. Can we skip the waiting time? My pet needs urgent care. Is there anything I can do while we wait? Tip: if you're worried about waiting, ask, how long will it take for the vet to see my pet? The vet will ask specific questions to understand what happened. Here's how to answer clearly. What happened before this emergency started? He was fine, but then he suddenly started shaking and breathing fast. I was playing with him, and suddenly he collapsed on the floor. Has your pet been sick before, or is this new? No, he was completely healthy before this happened. Yes, he had a small cough yesterday, but now it's much worse. Do you know what your pet ate or what could have caused this? I think he ate a plant, but I don't know which one. She found something on the ground, and before I stopped her, she swallowed it. Tip: if you don't know the answer, just say, "I'm not sure, but I need help immediately." Once the vet examines your pet, they might give urgent instructions. If you don't understand, ask them to repeat or simplify their explanation. We need to give him oxygen immediately to help him breathe. Okay, what else do I need to do? She needs emergency surgery to remove the object she swallowed. How soon will the surgery start, and is it dangerous? He will need medication for the next 2 weeks to recover. How many times a day should I give him the medicine? Tip: if you don't understand medical terms, ask, "Can you explain that in simpler words?" After the treatment, the vet will give you instructions for home care. Make sure you understand them clearly. Should I keep him inside and limit his movement? How do I know if she is getting worse? When should I bring him back for a checkup? Tip: if you're still worried, ask, "Can I call you if I have more questions later?" Emergencies can be scary, but now you know how to ask for urgent help in English. Whether it's a breathing problem, an injury, or poisoning, you can now describe symptoms clearly, ask important questions, and understand vet instructions. Have you ever had to rush your pet to the vet? What happened? What's one emergency phrase from this lesson that you think is most useful? Chapter 5: Understanding Medication and Care Instructions. Sarah breathes a sigh of relief as the vet finishes treating Max. He is stable now, but the vet hands her a prescription and starts explaining the medication and care instructions. Sarah listens carefully, but the words sound too technical, and she starts to feel overwhelmed. Does this sound familiar? You leave the vet's office with a bag of medicine, but you're unsure how often to give it or whether it should be taken with food. Not understanding the instructions can put your pet's health at risk. In this chapter, we'll cover how to understand medication instructions, clarify vet recommendations, and ensure your pet gets the best care possible. One of the most important things to understand is how much medication to give and how often. If you're unsure, don't hesitate to ask, "How many times a day should I give this medicine?" You should give him 1 tablet twice a day with food. Give her half a pill in the morning and another at night. He needs this liquid medication every 8 hours without skipping a dose. Tip: if you forget the exact instructions, you can ask, "Can you repeat that? I want to make sure I do it correctly." Some medications need to be taken before, during, or after meals. If this is unclear, always ask, "Should I give this medicine with food or on an empty stomach?" Yes, always give it with food to avoid stomach irritation. No, this medicine works better on an empty stomach. It doesn't matter if he eats before or after taking it. Tip: if your pet refuses to take the medicine, ask, "What can I mix this with to make it easier to take?" Some medications can cause side effects, and it's important to know what to expect. What side effects should I watch out for? He might feel drowsy or sleep more than usual. She could have mild diarrhea, but it should go away soon. If he vomits after taking the medicine, call us immediately. Tip: if you notice a bad reaction, say, "My pet is acting strangely after taking the medicine. What should I do?" Some treatments come in the form of creams, sprays, or drops. Make sure you understand how to apply them properly. How do I apply this cream to my pet's skin? Put a small amount on the affected area twice a day. Make sure she doesn't lick it off after applying it. Wear gloves when applying the cream to avoid irritation. Tip: if your pet doesn't stay still, ask, "What's the best way to keep my pet calm while applying this?" If your pet needs eye or ear drops, the vet will show you how to use them. If you're confused, ask for clarification. How many drops should I put in each eye? Put 2 drops in each eye, 3 times a day. Hold his head steady, and apply the drops directly into the eye. Massage the area gently after applying the drops. If your pet hates eye drops, ask, "Is there another way to give this treatment?" After treatment, your pet may need a follow-up visit or special care at home. When should I bring my pet back for a checkup? Come back in 7 days so we can check his progress. If the symptoms don't improve, schedule another appointment immediately. Call us if he stops eating or if the condition worsens. Should I limit my pet's activity during recovery? Yes, keep him indoors and don't let him jump or run. She can take short walks, but no intense exercise. Make sure he rests a lot and avoids stress. If you're unsure about aftercare, ask, "What are the most important things I should do at home?" Now, you have the tools to clearly understand vet instructions and care for your pet properly. Whether it's giving medicine, applying treatment, or following recovery guidelines, you'll be able to communicate with your vet confidently and effectively. What's the most difficult part of following vet instructions for you? Have you ever misunderstood medication instructions before? Share your experience in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more essential English lessons. In our next video, you'll dive into the inspiring story of Jisoo and Mina, who moved to a foreign country with limited English skills, facing daily struggles, cultural barriers, and misunderstandings. Their lives took an unexpected turn when their cat Momo became their unlikely teacher. Join us as we explore their incredible journey in Learn English from Your Cat. 5 surprising tips. Don't miss this heartwarming and unique language learning adventure. Tune in for more amazing stories.